Welcome back to Ryan Jacobson Weather. Hope your Wednesday's off to a great start here. Let's hop right into the forecast for today. As over the last 12 to 24 hours, the forecast has unfortunately got a lot more concerning, you could say. There has been a high risk for severe weather issued today across portions of Illinois, going to Missouri, as well as Kentucky, into Tennessee and Arkansas as well. And we are expecting a major tornado outbreak today across those areas. We'll dive into the forecast here in a second. But if you're anywhere in those areas today, be sure you are weather aware, as we could have a significant tornado outbreak on our hands today, maybe even going into tomorrow and even into this weekend as well. So be sure you're weather aware if you're in those areas. So this is the Storm Prediction Center website, and as you can see, there's a high risk for severe weather today. You do not see these too often. These are very rare. This is already our second of the year, however, which you do not see too often. I do not know the last time that occurred, but we have been issued a high risk for severe weather. I'm going to read real quick the summary from the Storm Prediction Center. They say a tornado outbreak is expected today and tonight from parts of the lower Mississippi Valley into the mid-south and lower Ohio Valley. Numerous tornadoes, along with multiple long-track EF3 plus tornadoes, appear likely. In addition, tornadoes, severe wind gusts, and very large hail will be possible across a broad area from North Texas northeastward to the southern Great Lakes. So again, we are expecting a major tornado outbreak, and the SPC, the Storm Prediction Center, is on board with that. Luckily, last night we didn't see any crazy tornadoes. We had one PDS tornado warning, and there was a couple tornadoes that touched down, but as of now, we do not believe there's any major damage from those. But that line is already continuing eastward this morning. You can see we already have multiple tornado watches out there across portions of Missouri, going all the way into Oklahoma, as well as Arkansas. And this line is going to shift eastward and then intensify this afternoon to really create our major tornado threat. So let me hop into the outlook for today here. And as you can see, there's that high risk here. Again, not a large high risk, but again, that still is going to include portions of Illinois, Tennessee, Kentucky, going to Missouri, Arkansas, and maybe even a little bit of Mississippi as well. Some of the larger populations in this risk is Memphis, Tennessee, Jonesboro, Arkansas, Bartlett, Tennessee, South Haven, Mississippi, and Germantown, Tennessee. This is 23,000 square miles, and the area population is still 2.2 million. So still a decent amount of people in this high risk. But again, that doesn't only mean that there's going to be severe weather just in the high risk for today. Obviously, we are going to see widespread severe weather in the moderate and enhanced risks as well. So if you're anywhere, even from the slight risk all the way to the high risk, if you're in those areas today, be weather aware, as this is going to be a widespread severe weather outbreak today going into the night. And as you can see, we do have a 30% hatched risk for tornadoes. You do not see these too often. That's going to be accompanied with that high risk. But we do have that 10% hatch risk for tornadoes spanning all the way up almost to the Great Lakes, all the way into northern Ohio, all the way to eastern Texas. So a very large area is on the table. And then you have that 2% marginal risk for tornadoes spanning all the way up into New York State, and all the way to central Texas, and even into the northern Michigan. So again, a widespread tornado outbreak is likely. We have that wind threat, as well as we have a 30% hatched risk for severe winds today. We also have a 30% hatched risk for severe hail today over, a large area of that risk. So again, if you're anywhere in these areas today, be sure you're weather aware. Unfortunately, it looks like we are going to have a significant tornado outbreak today. I may be going live this afternoon. I get back from work at 5 o'clock. I may try to go live again and see if I can work out the kinks from that last live stream. I may go live around 6 or so this evening. So you can check back to the channel later today and see if I'm live or not. But anyways, if you're anywhere in the severe risk, just be weather aware, as unfortunately it looks like a devastating day of severe weather is upon us. Let me go over that day 2 outlook. Not much has changed. We still have that slight risk for severe weather. We have a 5% risk for tornadoes. I do expect this, though, to intensify the severe risk going into tomorrow. There's still going to be very favorable tornado conditions, and I would not be shocked if today they add a 10% hazard risk for tornadoes in these areas across Tennessee going into Texas. I think conditions are very, very favorable, and I think we're definitely going to see an enhanced risk for severe weather going into tomorrow. Let me go to that day 3 outlook. Again, that slight risk a little bit further to the west this time, but again, I still think there is going to be severe weather as well on that day 3 outlook. And then look at this, day 4, they have issued an enhanced risk for severe weather. The severe weather train does not look to be stopping anytime soon, unfortunately, as it's at least going to continue through this week going into this weekend, as we have 30% risk already on the day 4 outlook. And then you go to the day 5 outlook, we have a slight risk further east this time. And it looks like Sunday may be the last day for severe weather. This is that day 5 outlook. Hopefully there's not any more slight risk added on day 6 or 7. I think it looks a lot less likely. But again, it looks like we are expecting major severe weather over the next 5 days. So this is current conditions right now, and you can see we have this line of severe thunderstorms right now going across portions of the central U.S. This is gradually over the next couple of hours going to weaken out a little bit, and then watch, it's going to re-spark up here. This is going into the 2 to 3 p.m. time zone here, Central Time, and this is when we really expect our severe weather outbreak to take off. Let me push this view further east for you guys real quick. And we are expecting this to quickly take off here. Here's that other view. This is a little bit further east. So this is going into this early afternoon here. And this is around, the 3 to 4 o'clock time zone here in Central Time. So this is, I would say, around 4 to 5 Central Time right now. And this is what it could possibly look like out there. A lot of semi-discrete supercells firing off from Indiana, going back into Texas here. And these are only going to intensify. It looks like eventually when we get closer to 7, 8 o'clock, it's going to turn more into a line of storms. That doesn't mean, though, that there's still not going to be spin-up tornadoes, as there could be some QLCS tornadoes embedded within this line for sure. This continues. This is going into midnight here. I feel like once you get past midnight, there still will be a damaging risk for wind, but most of that tornado threat will be over, except for portions further to the south here. I think that will linger across portions of Texas going to Arkansas. I think that tornado threat is going to continue into the overnight hours. And then this is going to tomorrow morning. You're going to see these storms refire back off here. And this looks like a concerning sign to me here. A lot of very discrete supercells here across Arkansas. And conditions are going to be very favorable for tornadoes going to tomorrow as well. This looks concerning to me across portions of Arkansas. If you live anywhere in Arkansas, there's going to be some rough, severe weather over these next couple of days, as we are expecting multiple rounds of severe weather going all the way through Sunday. So just be weather aware if you're in these areas for sure. But we definitely have multiple days of severe weather upon us. So this is your significant tornado parameter. I like to call it as tornado juice. This is going into this afternoon here. You can see those parameters are really going to take off. Like I said, watch this going into this afternoon here. They're really going to spike up. We could see still numbers, obviously, up to 7, maybe even 8 possible here in Arkansas. And this will be going into the evening hours here. This is going to around midnight. And that threat is still going to continue. We are going to have very favorable environment for tornadoes. They're just going to be obviously more QLCS tornadoes. I would say the greatest risk for tornadoes will be from about maybe 2 p.m. Central Time to probably 8 p.m. Central Time. That would be my guess, but we are still going to have that tornado risk, especially further to the south here throughout the overnight hours. And then look at this going into tomorrow. Look at this. We have even higher values, 9s and 8s. So this looks concerning as well going into tomorrow, and I would not be surprised at all if tomorrow's risk gets enhanced to an enhanced risk, or maybe even possibly a moderate risk, because I think there is going to be some definite severe weather tomorrow as well. Obviously, the main risk with these storms is going to be the severe weather with them, but there's going to be some flooding possible as well. These are going to be dropping heavy rainfall with these storms. There's that first round coming through today. These storms kind of stall out here, and then watch, here's going to be that second round going into tomorrow. And there could be definitely some flooding here across portions of Arkansas going into Tennessee. HRRR model putting out almost 10 inches of rain in some localized areas. So, not be surprised if we see widespread flash flood warnings tomorrow afternoon with just extended amount of heavy rainfall expected over the next 24 to 36 hours. And again, there will be another round of storms going to Saturday and Sunday as well. So I would not be surprised if over the next couple of days here, a few localized areas see over a foot of rain. That would not surprise me with just how strong and how heavy rainfall these severe thunderstorms are going to be. So lastly, here's kind of that further out viewed outlook of what we're expecting. There's the current conditions right now. There's that line of thunderstorms across Kansas and Oklahoma. These continue to the east today. There's kind of that just explosion of storms this afternoon here across a large chunk of the central U.S. There's that big severe weather outbreak for today. Then that threat shifts further to the south. This is for tomorrow. Kind of there's that large area for tomorrow for severe weather. This is going now into Friday here. And again, we can see more severe weather a little bit further to the west this time across portions of Arkansas as well as Texas. This is now going to Saturday. And again, we're still seeing severe weather here across those same areas. And that's going to be the story. These storms are not really going to be moving. This is Saturday's risk. Another explosions of storms to the south here. And then this is now going into Sunday. We're going to see some more storms fire off a little bit further to the east this time, bringing that severe weather threat more into the deep south. But again, a lot of rainfall associated with these storms. And it looks like the severe weather threat may be over going into Monday, as it looks like we're going to have this cooler air setting in across the Northeast and Midwest. May even see some scattered lake effect snow showers going into early next week across those areas. But it looks like that's going to stop the severe weather train for now. But it will be a very active next few days ahead of us. Like I said, just be sure you're weather aware if you live in those areas today. You don't need to be scared about the severe weather potential today, but you just got to be aware of it, as that obviously large potential is on the table. I thank you guys all for stopping by. I may do, like I said, a live stream later today. Just keep checking back, and it would be probably around the 6 p.m. time frame if I went live, and we'll just see what the weather looks like at that time. But again, hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll have a video out tomorrow morning highlighting the potential for tomorrow's severe weather potential.